have to pick our team of the season. So Michael is on the hot spot. He's been mulling it over, I was going to say all week, probably all day. And he's had a long day. So let's get straight into it with the goalkeeper. And I don't think there's much debate about this one. He is the Golden Glove winner. He's on the verge of the league title as well. David Raya, straightforward?
Absolutely. Raya is a straightforward pick. Probably the easiest one. I didn't take too long deliberating on this one, Steve. A brilliant season. And I don't think too many people will be shouting at the television there. OK. Ahead of him, you've gone with a back four. Let's see how that shapes up. Well, my right back, Steve, was a tricky one. Munoz, I thought he was actually better last season for Crystal Palace. But I was struggling to find anyone else in the Premier League. Timber for Arsenal entered my thoughts. But I've gone with Munoz. He had a little bit of an injury setback, let's say, around the turn of the year, and Crystal Palace didn't win without him in the team. He's a very attack-minded player. He's a wing-back more so than a right-back. But as I say, that was probably the hardest decision. I wasn't too confident putting him in, but he gets a game as the right-back. I don't think there was too much debate at centre-half. No. Saliba and Gabriel, just an incredible defensive partnership. They've been pretty fit, pretty solid all season. And again, looking at left-back,
who would have thought he would have been in our first show?
Well, exactly. Imagine a few years ago if you'd said you're going to be in the team of the year, Premier League team of the year at left-back, he would have laughed at you because he plays as a number 10 for a lot of the youth teams at Manchester City. But he's been absolutely brilliant. So good that he'll probably end up going and starting in the World Cup for England. His footwork is incredible, as we can see here. He's so calm on the ball. He drifts into dangerous areas. You know, he's, as I say, he grew up being an attacking midfield player, so he knows exactly what to do. 9 goals this season, Michael. 9 goals from left back. He times his runs well. He gets in the box on a regular frequency. Very good in the air. He's a huge lad, and I just think he has been absolutely one of the finds of the season, actually, in the Premier League. OK, he is a midfielder, but let's have a look at your team and the two in front of him in midfield. No surprise to see Declan Rice there. Yes. Now then, there was a lot of our production staff who expected perhaps an Elliot Anderson, a Bernardo Silva, but you've gone Casemiro. I have. Declan Rice was just a simple selection. He went straight in. He was one of the first names on the team sheet. Casemiro, I've been so impressed with him. I know people say the wages he's on, and he's playing in a great, in a great stadium for a great team. Of course, you've got, all of those things that enter your head why you should continue and should play.
They were a great team in the first half of the season.
They weren't. And the career he's had, winning all those trophies at great clubs. I mean, it's easy for him, hardly playing at some stages of his Manchester United career, but he's actually played the best football in the last sort of 6 months of his career at Manchester United. He scores important goals. He's incredible defensively as well. Set pieces, he wins virtually every ball that comes into that near post area. And I just think when a lot of people questioned whether his best days were gone, he's come back with a vengeance. And Manchester United have been absolutely brilliant this season. They've, steamrolled into third in the Premier League, and his performances have been absolutely outstanding. He is going to be really, really difficult to replace.
Yeah, Michael Carrick has placed a lot on Casemiro since he walked through the door. Right in front of those two, Bruno Fernandes, his teammate, Morgan Rogers, what a season he's had, Antoine Semenyo, who has consistently done it for 2 clubs.
Yeah.
This season.
Absolutely. I mean, Bruno Fernandes, again, another easy selection. What a player he's been. But Semenyo, well, what can you say? I mean, he was bought for a lot of money. He was fantastic for Bournemouth, starting on the very first day of the season, actually, tearing Liverpool to shreds at Anfield, and he continued in that vein of form right the way through the season. He's then got his big move to Manchester City, and in terms of goals, he's never looked back. I mean, he's pretty lethal.
10 for each club,
Absolutely. He's pretty lethal in front of goal. I mean, he's playing in a very advanced position for Manchester City, sometimes alongside Haaland as a centre-forward, but he's taken to it well, and I've been really, really impressed with him this season. And then Morgan Rogers. I mean, there was 1 or 2 people that potentially entered my head. Gibbs White at Nottingham Forest. Bernardo Silva could have played in one of those advanced positions. We've got Doku, but Doku played pretty well late on in the season. I think he went missing really early in the season. But anyway, Aston Villa coming fourth in the Premier League is no mean feat. So I wanted to squeeze a Villa player in, and he's probably been their best player this season.
OK, so there's 10. We can only presume that Erling Haaland is leading the line. Is he the Premier League's top scorer? Oh.
No.
Igor Thiago.
I'm going to go with Igor Thiago. I mean, to score the goals that he scored in the Premier League this season, he's only just behind Haaland in terms of
3 behind,
numbers.
yeah.
3 behind. And to play in a Brentford team that most people, including me, thought would struggle this season, to be on the verge of European football and to have scored so many goals is quite an achievement. I think if you put, him in a Manchester City shirt this season, it's fair to assume that he would have had more chances and scored possibly more goals than an Erling Haaland. So to score that many goals in a Brentford team, I think he's done incredibly well, and I think you've got to mark that up. Haaland, yes, had a fantastic season. You expect it from Haaland nowadays, but this guy has really stepped up to the mark, and he just edges it for me.
Interesting, and he could well be on the way to the World Cup, of course, with Brazil. Haaland does make the bench with your 9 substitutes, and some of those players you've said who you agonised about.
Absolutely, yes. Lamans has been brilliant for Manchester United. Gehi has had a very good season as well, taken to playing for Manchester City like a duck to water. If Granit Xhaka had continued his second half of the season like his first, he would have been in the starting lineup, so an honourable mention for him as well. We've sort of covered the rest of them, apart from Garner. James Garner at Everton, I thought he's had a fantastic season as well, so there's my team. OK, right, individual awards now. Let's start with Michael's Premier League Player of the Season. Who have you gone for? Yeah, I'm going for Bruno Fernandes. Quite simply unbelievable. I think he's been brilliant for many, many years now. Even when Manchester United were playing poorly, were struggling, he was still the standout. He kept his levels, and that's not an easy thing to do. And since they've been playing, he's been the talisman. He's been fantastic again this season, scoring goals, assists. I mean, since Kevin De Bruyne has left the Premier League, I can think of nobody else that sees a pass, that delivers a pass like Bruno Fernandes. Where would Manchester United be without him? I think he's been head and shoulders the best player. OK, this will be interesting. Manager of the season. Few contenders. Few contenders, and obviously we're filming this just before the season is out. And of course, it's looking like Arteta's going to win the Premier League, looking that way. But I just think that there's another couple of managers that have done really, really well, namely Unai Emery. And when I looked at the shortlist of who people were voting for in this Premier League season as the top, Emery didn't even get into the shortlist of 5. You're talking Keith Andrews, of course, Iraola at Bournemouth, fantastic seasons themselves. You're talking Pep Guardiola, already won the double, and Arteta. Nobody was mentioned Unai Emery, and I couldn't believe it. They were even mentioning Michael Carrick, that's only managed in the Premier League for half a season. Emery's got his team into the Champions League 2 out of the 3 seasons. They've got to... And only missed on goal difference in the other. And that was very, very unlucky, possibly a poor decision that caused that. And he's doing so well in Europe as well, so I think he's had another unbelievable season. OK, next up, goal of the season. I wasn't too enamoured with the goals of the season this season. I'm going with Harrison Reed for his Fulham effort against Liverpool. It was an incredible strike. It's not the type of goal I normally vote for in terms of a goal of the season. I seem to like, skillful goals or team goals. This is just a strike. But this was in the 94th minute. It was an equaliser against Liverpool, so it had a lot on it, and it was an unbelievable strike. So Harrison Reed for me. OK, that is the goal of the season. Now we want to know what you think is the save of the season. Well, now this was hard. This was very hard. When I was looking through all the saves, Jordan Pickford came up about 3 or 4 teams. That's Newcastle. 3 or 4 times, and probably the pick of them was against Newcastle, where he tipped it onto the bar. I'm going to go for Kinski, though. And in fact, this is fascinating because I thought 2 of his saves in the same game both got into my shortlist. But this... Not only was it an amazing save, it was right towards the end of the game, and the importance of it can't be underestimated. It got Tottenham Hotspur a point, and who knows whether that point could be the key to their survival. And when you think, and when you go back to the poor start he had in a Tottenham shirt, the way he's bounced back and the way he, well, virtually single-handedly won them a point there was really admirable.
And that was in injury time as well.
Absolutely. Huge save.
OK, and just to round off, as we always ask Michael, his moment of this Premier League season, the final award.
Yeah, I'm going to go for James Milner, breaking the all-time appearance record in the Premier League. It's an incredible achievement, an incredible professional, incredible man, and what a play. He's represented some of the great teams in the Premier League. And it's not often, of course, somebody breaks a record like that. So there's been some great moments. I'm thinking of the VAR decision the other day, West Ham against Arsenal. What a huge moment that was. Thankfully, VAR, I thought, got that spot on. Other huge moments, but James Milner, record breaker, that was my moment of the year.
Great one to finish. Can you believe we've done another season of Mondays?
Absolutely.
There it goes, in the blink of